Today's episode, I'm going to share with you 5 simple tapping licks that you can add to your blues improvisation to spice things up. Grab your guitar, we'll get started right after this. Hello, this is David. Welcome to this channel, which is all about helping you develop your musical personality on the instrument. Why? Well, so that you can tell a better, more personal musical story. Let's get started with lick number 1. And you know what? Before we get started, I need to tell you something. This is the Blues in E. You can download the backing track and the licks for free. The link is below. Sign up to the free platform that'll give you access to the downloads for this video and pretty much all the videos on the channel. All right, let's get started with lick number 1. This first lick uses 16th triplet notes, which is 6 notes per beat. The left hand is going to operate on the first position of an E minor pentatonic scale. So in that slice of the fretboard right here between frets 12 and 15. And we're going to start on the first string. And there's a little twist. So instead of descending the standard way, where it would be, 15, 12, 15, 12, 14, 12, and so forth, we're going to do 12, 15, 12, 15, 12, 14, 12, 14. So we're basically descending the strings, but ascending each note of the string. Make sense? Something like that. Okay, so that's for the left hand. We're gonna add one thing. We're gonna play 3 strings, like that. And then we'll start over from the second string. And then the third, and the fourth. Okay, so something like that for the left hand. The right hand is going to replace your pick. So instead of starting each string with a pick attack, we're going to start with a tap. Now those taps are going to happen on the next note of the pentatonic scale. So let me show you a close-up real quick. Here are the taps. I'm using my index finger right here. From the 1st to the 6th string, we are tapping 17, 17, 16, 17, 17, 17. All together and slowly it'll be something like this. So you tap, release, and do the left hand thing, and then tap the next string, release, tap, release. Now go to the second string, and so forth. If you want to expand that, you can easily do so by simply moving your left hand to another position, something like this, maybe the 5th position. Oops, sorry. Something kind of like that. I need my coffee. Okay, lick number 2. The second lick is very satisfying to play. It sounds a lot more complex than it really is, as I'll show you in a second. This time we're going to ascend the lick, but you can do it in reverse. You can descend it too. And the left hand is not just going to play the minor pentatonic scale, but it's going to play the Aeolian mode, the natural minor scale, which works great over this backing track. Again, the link is below for that. So we're going to, with the left hand, ascend the Aeolian mode in a 3 note per string system. And let me show you here what I'm doing, because I'm not doing the conventional 3 note per string system. I'm starting with a conventional 3 note per string system. So on the low E string, we have frets 12, 14, 15. Same thing on the 5th string, 12, 14, 15. Then 12, 14, 16, 12, 14, 16. And then here, instead of going to the next note of the scale, I'm going to repeat this note on the 2nd string 12th fret. So we'll have 12, 13, 15, and then 12, 14, 15. So altogether, that's what we have. So that repetition of notes played at high speed will create that kind of weird effect. So that's for the left hand, and the right hand is going to tap the 19th fret. Why 19? Because if we look at the 19th frets across the strings, all these notes are within the scale, so it's easier to remember. Just tap 14. So we're going to tap, release, and when you're releasing, don't just lift your finger, but really do it like a pluck of the string to trigger that 12th fret. So we got tap, release, and play your scale. tap, release, tap, release, tap, release. Something like that. So all together, and then we can repeat that fifth string. Repeat. A little different, especially if you throw that in the middle of a standard blues type of improv. It sounds kind of different, right? Where's my coffee? Lick number 3. We are still in E Aeolian. That's what the left hand is going to do. Let me show you that left hand. That left hand is going to play on the second string, frets 12, 13. And then we're going to go to the next string, the first string, frets 12, 15. Okay, so something like that. Now here's the main thing. We're going to do a hammer-on from nowhere. So we're not going to use our pick because the pick is, well, basically going to be held between the thumb and the index so that we can move on to other picky things later. But we need our index for the fifth note. So we've got right here, and then we're going to tap the 19th fret and then release. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 notes per beat. Now there's something kind of important here that's happening with the palm of my right hand. It's resting here on the lower strings, trying to mute anything that is not on the second or first string. So it's kind of resting. So if by accident I pluck those, they're going to be kind of stopped in their motion. So that's kind of what's going on here. And so forth. Let's take a look at lick number 4. The fourth lick also uses E Aeolian. The left hand is going to descend that scale, kind of. We're going to start on the first string all the way to the 6th string, but there's a little twist. Let me show you the close-up for that left hand. We're going to start with the index on the first string, frets 12, 14, 15, 14, 12. So that series of notes is going to be the logic that we're going to use on each of the strings. So we've got 12, 14, 15, 14, 12. And then on the second string, we have 12, 13, 15, 13, 12, and so forth. Following the scale. And it's important to really know that scale very, very well. You shouldn't have part of your brain focusing on the shape. That should be really second nature. And then the right hand is going to trigger these series of notes by tapping the 19th fret, just like we did in the previous example. So in essence, it's something like this. We're tapping 19, and then doing that series of notes, and then tapping 19, series of notes. Now there's something important. When I'm tapping, notice what's happening with the left hand. Tap, my left hand is kind of like pivoting to get in position for that second string. Tap, as I'm tapping, I am transitioning here to be ready for the next note. One of these licks that can be thrown in between other more traditional types of licks. Let's take a look at the final lick. lick number 5. Lick number 5 kind of has a cascading type of effect, especially with the delay. If you have your delay locked with the tempo of the track, which I believe is 100 beats per minute, then it's going to sound fuller and richer and kind of cool, I think, kind of a cascading thing. This is what's going on. We're still in E Aeolian. We're going to tap the 17th fret this time, and then descend the scale with the left hand. So that's, you're releasing on 15, 14, 12, and then tap the second string 17th fret. I know it's a repetition of notes between the first string, 12th fret, and the second string, 17th fret, but that's okay. And then we're gonna release on 15, 13, 12. And we're just gonna repeat this over and over. That kind of thing. So that's 8 notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which we're going to try to apply to this, this track. I kind of hear it, I can't sing it, but let's try it. See the tap that I'm doing? The first tap on the first string is on the beat. Tap, tap, tap. Remember, you can grab the backing track, the charts, and the tabs. There's a free sign up below that'll give you access to all of that for free. But not only the assets of this lesson, but also most of the other lessons on the channel are there. Just sign up once, unlimited lifetime access for free. So check it out. It's a great way of studying. And if this was your first visit, thank you for stopping by. And if this was your many times visit, thank you for stopping by. Consider subscribing, hit the bell notification so you don't miss any other videos. Thank you. I'll see you very soon. Practice well.